and welcome back everyone. In the first part of our discussion, we explored the 6 key elements of organizational design, which are work specialization, departmentalization, chain of command, span of control, centralization versus decentralization, and lastly, formalization. Now, in the second part, let's see how these elements come together in two contrasting organizational structures, the mechanistic structure and the opposite one is organic structure. These represent two ends of a spectrum, and understanding them will help us to see how organizational adapts their design to different environmental factors. Work specialization. In a mechanistic structure, work specialization is very high. Jobs are broken down into simple, repetitive tasks like on an assembly line. This creates efficiency but limits flexibility. But on the other hand, in an organic structure, jobs are broader. Employees handle multiple tasks and responsibilities and use their skills in different areas, which allow them to adapt quickly to changes. Second element of design is departmentalization. So, in mechanistic organization, totally rely is on a very clear departmental divisions such as finance, HR or production. People mostly stay within their departments, but in contrast, organic structures encourages cross-functional teams. Employees work across boundaries, collaborating with each other to solve complex organizational problems. In chain of command, related to chain of command in mechanistic structures is strict and rigid. Authority flows clearly from the top to bottom, and employees are expected to follow their supervisor's order. But in organic structure, the chain of command is more flexible and employees may communicate directly with anyone who can provide guidance or solution regardless of hierarchy. Similarly, in span of control, mechanistic system managers typically have a narrow span of control. They supervise only a few people, which allows close monitoring. But in organic systems or structure, the span of control is more wider. Managers oversee more people, but because employees are more empowered, they don't need constant supervision. Next element is centralization and decentralization. So, mechanistic organizations are highly centralized. Most decisions are made at the top level and employees simply follow the rules or the instructions or the orders. But in organic organizations, decision making is decentralized. Employees at lower levels are more trusted to make important decisions which help the organizations respond quickly to changes. Last element of organizational design is formalization. So, in mechanistic structures, they rely heavily on formalization. Strict rules, procedures, job descriptions are very detailed and leaving no room, little room for discretion. But whereas organic organizations have low formalizations, rules are minimal and employees are encouraged to use their judgments and creativity to achieve organizational goals. So, that is the difference between mechanistic structures and organic structures. So, the next question is now, how do managers decide which structure is best for their organization? So, the truth is managers don't just pick a structure randomly. There are 4 major contingency factors that strongly influences organizational designs. Number 1 is strategy. Structure must always support their strategy. If a company strategy focus on efficiency and cost control, a retail chain like a Walmart, then a mechanistic structure works best because it emphasizes standardization and tight controls. But on the other hand, if a strategy is built around innovation like Google or a biotech startup, then an organic structure is more suitable because it allows creativity, more flexibility, and rapid decision making. The second thing which decides about organizational design is size. As organization grows, their structure naturally evolves. A small business may start with a flexible organic setup, but as it grows larger and more complex, it often becomes more mechanistic type. Larger organizations needs more formalized procedures, multiple layers of hierarchies, and standardized rules to keep operation under control. The third element is technology. The type of technology an organization uses also matters a lot. Routine technologies like mass production fits well with the mechanistic design because they requires efficiency and consistency. And in contrast, non-routine or innovative technologies such as software development or creative designs requires organic structures because employees need freedom to experiment, freedom to adapt and solve problems in a new creative ways. So finally, the last element is environmental uncertainty. In a stable environment where changes are slow and predictable, a mechanistic structure works best because the organization doesn't need to constantly adapt to organizational needs. But when an environment is uncertain, very competitive and fast changing, organizations needs organic structures to stay more flexible, respond quickly to shifts and seize new opportunities. So there are two different types of organizational design. One is traditional and other is contemporary. Now let's look at some of the traditional organizational designs that managers have commonly used over time. There are three major ones: the simple structure, the functional structure, and the last one is divisional structure. All three are type of traditional structures. The simple structure is most basic and is usually found in small businesses or startups. It has one central authority, often the owner, very little formalization, and a wider span of control. This makes it highly flexible and fast in decision making, which is great for young or small firms. But the problem is, as the organization grows, the simple structure becomes risky. With so many much authority resting on one person, it creates bottlenecks and make the business vulnerable if that individual is unavailable or overwhelmed. The second type is functional structure. Is that here employees are grouped by their specialized functions such as marketing, finance, operation, or human resources. These structures promote expertise and efficiency because people work in their areas of strength. However, the downside of this is that departments can become isolated, focusing only on their own goals rather than overall organizational goals, objectives, or missions. So, coordination across departments can become a challenge in this type of traditional structure. The third is divisional structure, which organizes work around products, services, geographic regions, or customer groups. Each division operates almost like a separate business unit with its own resources and own authority. This structure improves accountability because managers are responsible for performance of their own division. However, it can also lead to the duplication of resources because each division may have its own marketing department, own finance team, and that can be costly as well. So, these are three are the traditional designs. Now, coming to the contemporary organizational designs, number one is team based structure. These are contemporary. The team structure is one of the most widely used contemporary design. Instead of rapid or rigid departments, organizations are built around teams that cut across traditional boundaries. These teams brings together people with different skills and backgrounds to solve problems, innovate, and deliver results. For example, in a technology company like Microsoft or Apple, cross functional teams work on new product development from start to finish. So, the main benefit here is it enhanced collaboration and innovation. But again, the challenge is managing conflicts and ensuring accountability. The second contemporary design is matrix structure. The matrix structure combines elements of both the functional and the divisional designs. Employee report to two managers at a time, one for their function like marketing and one for their project or a product team. So, this design promotes resource sharing and flexibility, especially in larger organizations that handle different kind of complex projects like aerospace or consultancy firms. However, it can also create confusion and stress because of the dual reporting relationship, because you have to report to two bosses in matrix structure. The third is project structure. In project structure, work is organized entirely around the projects. Once the project is completed, the team disbands and the member may move to their new projects. This structure is highly flexible and ideal for industries like construction, filmmaking or software development, where tasks are clearly defined by project goals. And the advantage of this is adaptability, but the drawback is a lack of continuity and stability. The next contemporary design is boundaryless organization, another important contemporary design. This design seeks to eliminate traditional barriers between departments and even between the organization and its external partners. Jack Welch, a former CEO of General Electric, popularized this concept by encouraging open communication and collaboration across all the levels of management. Today's companies extend this idea by working closely with even suppliers, customers, competitors to create more value for the customer. The next design is a virtual organization which relies on digital technologies to bring people together. Members of the organizations may not even share a physical offices. For example, a remote first company like GitLab operate entirely online with employees spread across the globe. So, virtual organizations save cost and offers more flexibility, but they also faces challenges in building culture and trust. So, if we talk about the overall challenges of the contemporary organizational designs. So, these contemporary designs no doubt provide adaptability and innovation. They also come with significant challenges that manager must address. Number one challenge is increased complexity. For example, structures like matrix and boundaryless organizations can create complex communication channels and decision making processes. Our employees may struggle with the unclear roles and responsibilities, which leads to more frustration among employees. The second challenge is coordination and communication. As organization adopts more flexible and virtual structures, effective communication becomes very difficult, and misunderstandings and delays can occur, especially when teams are spread across different time zones or different culture. So, we need to address this challenge as well. And the other challenges are maintaining accountability. For example, in a team based, if we talk about team based, boundaryless structures, accountability can become very blurred. When everyone is responsible, sometimes no one feels truly responsible. So, manager must design systems that track performance of the employees accordingly. Another challenge is building and sustaining culture. Contemporary organizations often have diverse and dispersed workforces normally. So, creating a shared culture and maintaining employee engagement becomes more challenging when people don't work in the same location or when teams are constantly restructured. Another challenge is balancing flexibility with stability. So, finally, while we say that flexibility is critical, no doubt, organization also needs to focus on stability. Too much fluidity can cause confusion, while too much rigidity can slow the innovation process. So, striking the right balance is one of the most toughest managerial challenges a manager can face in today's environment. So, to conclude, in today's lecture, contemporary organizational designs such as team based matrix projects or boundaryless and visual structure represents modern solution to the fast changing business world. They allow organizations to be more innovative, more collaborative, and more responsive at the same time. They introduce challenges in coordination, communication, accountability, and culture building. So, the key lesson here is that managers must thoughtfully design the structures that not only fit the environment, but also support the people who work within them. So, that is all about today's lecture. Thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.